Hey, everybody, welcome back to Royally Quacked. And boy, have I missed you all. It feels so weird as my wife and I were on a marriage retreat last week, and you know, you got to focus on family sometimes. And we had an excellent time. So it's so good to be back. How are things with you today, Cody?
I am doing good. I didn't sleep the best, but I got plenty of time to sleep after this.
I guess you do.
I could probably take a nice big nap tomorrow because I kind of hope both teams lose tomorrow.
That can't
Yeah,
happen, Cody.
it's in my world. It already happened.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
I honestly I just want my squares to hit at for my work.
I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know.
all I care about.
We're gonna have squares at we're going to a friend's house tomorrow for the Super Bowl party.
Always.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, mom sometimes gets into one, but I don't know. She hasn't said anything this year. So,
where are you guys going for the party?
Bill and Kathy's house.
Oh, we're
Enjoying it.
just staying home.
Yeah.
I,
So,
I found these like things at Albertsons. Christina's favorite drink is a blue Hawaiian, and they had this like blue Hawaiian already like pre-made mixture, and all you gotta do is like pour it over ice. And I found myself an old fashioned one, and I was like, oh, there we go. We got our drinks, and now we just gotta get our food, and we'll be set for tomorrow.
oh, Bill's a master at making those kind of. Well, I know he makes a pretty good old fashioned. Don't know
Hmm.
how much I'll be drinking. I don't drink that much anymore.
That's probably the only drink I'm gonna have tomorrow.
So But man, we've got lots of stuff to go over because we missed a whole week. Hopefully, you guys missed us as much as we've missed you.
It really felt weird not having to do any extra like post this week for the pod.
Yeah, I got to tell you, it was a very hard decision to make to not do it, but it
Yeah.
was definitely the right decision
Oh
to
yeah.
do because
Agreed.
we went into we had date night on Saturday night after our session, and mom wanted to go to the movies, and we went to Outback for dinner. And if we would have done the podcast, uh, Outback would have been impossible to get into, and then we'd have been really late at the movies. And you know what? Sometimes you got to focus on your loved one first. So, and I
Oh yeah.
did, and I feel good about it. I did miss doing the podcast though, because I, I love the podcast. I love hockey. I hope that comes through to everyone who listens to us. So,
You heard it here first. My dad hates hockey. I'm just kidding. No, honestly, like, and we ended up seeing Bimac and Rachel last week. We went down to their place and had where did we go for food? It's called the local house, I think. It's out in Oceanside. Good food was great and everything. God, my burger was huge, but we had a great time, so couldn't complain.
awesome.
All right.
So, do we want to get started? Because we got
Let's get started because we have a
ton of
lot
games to
of.
do and a lot of news.
So, you want to go first since you don't got much?
I don't have much because the Kings haven't been doing a whole lot. The one thing is, and you probably all you Kings fans know this already, but Doughty's back.
Woo!
And the sad thing is Anderson got injured, but he's been skating with the red jersey, so he'll should be back soon. And basically, that's the Kings news.
Short and sweet, huh?
Short and sweet. We got
Uh,
lots of league news though, so we got plenty of news for you guys.
yeah. I'll try to go through mine decently quick. But the Elite 3C Mason McTavish was named to the NHL Second Star of the Week. I believe it was the one just before. I think the week before.
We had January
Yeah,
25th through the
20th.
26th.
Yeah, that one. He had 5 goals in 3 games. So, wow. He's
Wow.
been he really took those Elite 3C comments personally. So, next bit of news is also about Mason McTavish. He also joins Hall of Famer Paul Correa as the only players in Anaheim Ducks history to score 50 career goals before turning 22 years old. Wow.
Accomplishment.
Mm-hmm. Next bit of news. I talked about it, I believe, last time on the 32 Thoughts that Elliot said that the Ducks were looking or close to signing Russian draft pick Artem Galimov, but there's some quotes that came out. Reporter asked him, has your current club already started negotiations with you about a new contract? He said they called and talked, but there was nothing serious. And he said, are they usually immersed in hold on, sorry. In October, you said that no one had called you from Anaheim. Still no one has contacted you? And Galimov replied, they called, communicated through an agent, then I talked to him, but there were no specifics, just a normal conversation. I seem to be talking to the general manager. Honestly, I didn't get into it. And then they asked, let's see, where was it? Who came to Kazan to see you from Anaheim? And he said, it was before the draft. Then no one came until this season when no one remembered me at all.
Ooh,
so
not looking strong, does it?
No, I'm like,
wow.
Yeah,
Ouch.
I know. So I'm like, that I was like, that's not a good look, Ducks. That's not a good look. So next bit of news, there's more BS Trevor Zegras trade rumors. This one came out from Dave Pagnotta. This should just tell you, if anyone reports anything other than Elliot Friedman,
it's
don't
not true.
believe it about the Ducks. Don't believe it. Because like we've seen Saravelli, we've seen the fourth period. Here's what they said. The Ducks are willing to move Trevor Zegras and are looking to add a defenseman. Why are we looking to add a defenseman? We already have a logjam on defense. We're already trying to trade away a defender to have one of our bright stars, Zellweger or Minchikov, because one of them is always sitting, just to have them play in every game. Why would we need to add to that? And honestly, and we still got Luneau in the AHL, and he's looking really good down there. So I wouldn't be surprised if Gudis is gone next year, and then we slide up Luneau, and then our right side we got Trouba, Luneau, Hellison, and the left side we got Zellweger, Minty, and who's the other one at the top of my head? Lacombe. Thank you.
I think he's right now their best defenseman.
Yes, he is by far.
And you forgot him? You forgot their best defenseman?
Hey, it's been a long 2 weeks.
Dowdy, that will never happen on this side of the podcast.
Sure. Anyway, Nick, last bit of news. Let's go to something positive for the Ducks. Sasha Pastujov. He's had an interesting year this year. He was a second round pick for the Ducks a few years ago, and he was looking to be a bright star. And you know where he started this season? In the ECHL, not in the AHL, in the ECHL. They brought him up, and he's been dominating since he's becoming the AHL. He was named the January AHL Player of the Year. He had 19 points.
Month
of the year. Of the month. He had 19 points through 12 games, and he's currently on a 12-game point streak.
Awesome.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see him up somewhere, but it's exciting to see that someone's doing well down there.
Absolutely.
All right, ready for league news?
Yeah. How do you want to do it? You want to start? Or you want me to?
I'll go first.
Okay.
The Capitals have re-signed goaltender Logan Thompson to a 6-year extension worth $5.85 million AAV, and it's $35.1 million overall.
Boy, the way he's played, wow! Oh, that might be a bargain.
Did you?
If he would continue.
Did you hear why he didn't make the Canadian Four Nations team?
No.
So Peter DeBoer and Bruce Cassidy are both assistant coaches for Team Canada, and they both didn't want to coach him there.
Oh, okay. They don't want to win. Okay,
Yeah,
that's fine.
that's what I thought too. I was like, oh, you don't want the hottest fucking Canadian goaltender
Oh,
right
whoa,
now?
whoa,
I
whoa,
know. I'm
dude.
sorry.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I'm sorry. I don't know what happened there, but oh,
Yeah.
I just feel for him.
I hear your phone ringing after Mom hears the
I
podcast.
know. I didn't hear anything last time, so I'm still alive.
Yeah, well, I told her
I
about
don't
it.
know where
I'm not telling
that
her
came
this
from.
time. I'm going to let her
No.
just chew your butt out.
Oh, great. All right. Well, good luck trying to run this without me.
Yeah, really. Okay. The New York Rangers have signed defenseman Will Borgen to a 5-year, $4.1 million AAV extension per Elliot Friedman from 32 Thoughts. Rangers have been playing better lately, and boy, we're going to see changes are happening.
Yeah. No kidding.
As we go through more of the league news.
Yep. Next bit of news, Sean Monahan is expected to be sidelined for an additional 6 to 8 weeks due to a wrist injury sustained on January 7th.
He's a good player. That's a big
He's
loss.
looked really good since going to Columbus.
Alex Pietrangelo has withdrawn from the Four Nations tournament to tend to an ailment and prepare for the remainder of the season with the Vegas Golden Knights. Leaves a spot open.
Oh, they're saying it might be Doughty.
Yeah, he wants to play for Canada.
He desperately wants to play. Let's see, I'm just looking up something real quick. I don't remember what time the game is for this next news. No, the Stadium Series game, because that's the next news. The next bit of news is I believe they came out just before, but I forgot to put on the notes, the Stadium Series uniforms. So the Stadium Series is on March 1st, 2025. They're going to be playing at the Ohio State Stadium. You got the Detroit Red Wings versus the Columbus Blue Jackets. So you got the Michigan versus
Ohio.
Yeah,
Detroit. There you go. That's a good choice.
So here are the Detroit uniforms.
I like them.
I love.
They're old school.
I actually do like these a lot. I really like I don't know if you can see the wings on the side of the helmets.
Yeah, I can see this wing. Yeah,
and then
that looks good.
And then they even added like the white stripe on the helmet for the Ohio State, because they have the stripe down the center.
Yeah.
And then the little detail, they put the little octopus mascot on a tag.
That's I like it.
I like them too. And then here's Columbus. I love the cannon logo. I wish they would just make that their logo.
That uniform looks awesome too.
Yeah. Here's the captain. What they got, the Ohio State outline for the captain, and then just a little secondary jersey right there for you. So that I just love the way it looks.
Yeah, well, that's going to be fun to watch.
Oh yeah. Of course, I won't be able to watch that game because we'll be at a game that night.
Oh, will you?
Yeah, well, me, Christina, and a couple friends, we're going to see the Ducks play the Blackhawks.
Oh, we'll get to go see the Bedards, do you?
The Bedard, the Chicago Bedards.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, next. What if Russia was in the Four Nations? Or it could be 6 nations or 8 nations before.
Just look at this team.
So, forwards, Kaprizov, Malkin, and Kucherov. Wow.
Yeah.
Ovechkin. What is that?
Buchnevich. Sorry.
Buchnevich and Panarin. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Michkov, Barbashev, and Marchenko.
And he's having a hell of a year.
And Svechnikov.
Svechnikov.
And
Svechnikov. and Nikushkin.
Defenseman Sergachev and Gavrikov. Gavrikov has had a great year
Yeah.
for the Kings. Sergachev has had a great year.
Yeah.
Provorov and Zadorov.
And then Orlov and Nishkin.
And then
I believe that the
Oh, God.
goalies. God.
Look at the goalies. Holy crap.
who you starting there?
I don't know.
Yes.
It might be everyone gets to play 3 games, and whoever plays the best gets to play the 4th game.
All right, Vazzy, you get the first period. Shesterkin, you get the second period. Bob, you get the third period.
There you go.
And then just rotate. The next game,
Wow.
Shesterkin starts in the first. Vazzy gets third. Bob gets 2.
Wow.
Yeah, that's something, isn't it?
That is. I mean, there's so many players that are being left out of basically the All-Star weekend from the countries that aren't being represented.
Yeah.
I mean, a whole bunch of them. A lot of them are Russian. I thought Kopi deserved to be in there from Slovenia.
Well, they're only the 4 nations.
I know.
But
so they don't get to play. But they get to spend almost 2 weeks with their family. They're probably going to skate. And
I think a lot of players are preferring the 2-week break.
Yeah, it helps you rejuvenate the body and get that passion back going.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Next up, Kirill the Thrill Kaprizov will undergo surgery to repair a lower body injury and will be out of action for the next. It says 4 weeks, but I think by the time when this news came out, I think we're like 2 to 3, more like 2 to 3 weeks away. So probably closer to like right after 4 nations, right in that area.
Yeah, well, that's a big loss for Minnesota.
Yeah.
And Utah is letting the fans pick the team name. It's down to 3 names. No, not the Yeti, because they can't do it. The Mammoth, the Outlaws, or Hockey Club. I don't like Hockey Club.
Say hi to Mikey or Mickey. Sorry.
Hey, how's it going, Mickey? Glad you're listening to us.
What team name would you pick?
I kind of like the Mammoth. I do like the Outlaws though too. So
they were saying if I like the Mammoth because I believe someone posted on Instagram. They said the nickname for the arena will be the Tundra. The diehard fans will be called the Woolly Bullies. What was the other one?
You're convincing me in Mammoth now.
I like Mammoth. The Outlaws are like, I think, to be honest, the Outlaws are kind of like my third choice because it seems too NHL game and everything like that. But and they're saying with the Hockey Club, the logo they're going to use for that is what they were probably going to use if they were the Yeti, since they didn't get the Yeti trademark.
Right. Yeah. Well, we'll let the fans pick. I'm sure. I think Mammoth will probably win it after what you just said. Woolly Bully. You said
there was other ones. I can't remember it at the top of my head. But I kind of like that. There was other things. It was the Tundra, the Woolly Bullies, and there was something else. But
well, let's get to the all the captains for the 4 nations. You want to do Canada?
Yeah,
you want me to do Canada?
No, I'll do Canada.
Another Molson?
Yeah, another. Go down to Saskatoon, A little grown-ups quote there. But the captain, and who else? Sidney Crosby is the captain. Then you got Connor McDavid and Cale Makar as the alternate captains.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great choices. Now for the United States of America, California born Austin Matthews as the captain, with Matthew Tkachuk and Charlie McAvoy as assistant captains. I think that's great choices.
I think the only other one I would have done different is I would have done Quinn Hughes as the other than Charlie McAvoy.
Yeah,
That's the only thing I would have done different.
that would have been a good pick also. So I mean,
Yep.
somebody's getting left off because you're talking all stars here.
Yeah. And then for Sweden to captain, you got Victor Hedman. And then they got 3 alternate captains. You got William Nylander, Matthias Ekholm, and Erik Karlsson.
You can't argue with that. And then I would have Finland, Alexander Barkov, Sebastian Aho, and Mikko Rattanen. Oh, they have 3 too, don't they?
Yeah, they have 3 too.
And Mikkel Granlund,
Mm-hmm.
who he just got traded, right?
Yep. Way to spoil the next bit of news.
Yeah, there we go.
But yeah, those are the captains and alternate.
I didn't
captains
say
for true.
We probably already know.
Yeah. So, all right, now we'll get into the trades. So, ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So the first one right here, we got a trade between the Flames and the Flyers. The Flames acquire forward Morgan Frost and Joel Farabee, and the Flyers acquire Andrei Kuzmenko, Jacob Peltier, a 2025 second round pick, and the all important one, the 2028 seventh round pick. Crazy.
Wow. All important.
All important.
Yeah. Well, if it went to the Kings, they'd do pretty good with those 7th round picks.
Yeah.
They stick around.
Know.
Yeah.
You never know.
Okay, right. Next trade alert is between the Rangers and the Vancouver Canucks. And going to the Rangers, J.T. Miller, Eric Brandstrom, and Jackson Dorrington. Vancouver receives Philippe Chytil, Victor Mancini, and a conditional 2025 first round pick.
Mm-hmm. All right, next one. We have. Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm going to the right one. The trade alert between Vancouver and Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh receives Dan Heinen, Vincent Desharnais, Melvin Fernstrom, and the trade that literally we just talked about, the conditional 2025 first round pick from the New York goes to Pittsburgh. That kid's going everywhere right now. And then Vancouver receives Marcus Pettersson and Drew O'Connor. Oops. And Pettersson also signs a 6-year, $33 million extension, which is worth 5.5 AAV.
Wow.
Yeah. So that trade went from that first round pick went away pretty fast.
Yeah. Did you mention it's a top 13 protected?
No, I did not. It is top 13, so thank you.
Yeah. Just a reminder to the fans. Next trade alert is between the Dallas Stars and the San Jose Sharks. San Jose receives a 2025 first round pick, a conditional 2025 fourth round pick. Pick becomes a third if Dallas makes the Stanley Cup final. And then Dallas receives Mikkel Granlund and Cody Ceci. And Dallas has been a disappointment at times this year. And they're trying to boost her. I mean, I think Sagan's out, right?
Sagan's been out, so yes. You got Sagan out.
And then Heiskanen was hurt too.
Heiskanen, just got hurt with that Mark Stone hit. That was an unfortunate hit. People were saying it was dirty, but I don't think they saw the whole he got hit before and kind of went down. It was just a weird play all around.
Yeah.
So all right, and then next bit of news, the salary cap.
Yeah, some big news there, people. Big news.
Yeah. So this is what I heard. I don't quote me on this. The 2025-2026 cap will go up to $95.5 million, a $7.5 million increase, and the floor will be $70.6 million. That one is for sure gonna that's right now. That's gonna be the salary cap for next year. The next two are just estimates from what I've heard. The estimates for 2020, what is it, 2026, 27, it's going to go up to 104 million high, an 8.5 million increase, and the floor will be 76.9 million. And then in 2027, 2028, the highest will be 113.5 million, a 9.5 increase. And the floor will be 83.9 million.
Is that how much they give to the TV show, The Floor?
The floor.
Sorry, just
I believe if the floor was next year, the Ducks are not even close. So the Ducks got some money to spend.
Well, everybody's going to have money to spend.
Well, I mean, even
except
more.
for maybe Vegas.
Vegas. Who else is cap? Toronto, Florida, Edmonton. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the Kings are close, but I mean, there's probably change coming for a lot of these teams too. Not everybody's going to stay. Gavrikoff's going to be a free agent. He's got a test after this year. I mean, I can't see him signing a long term with the Kings right now, so he might be gone, which would be sad because he's played so well. I mean, honestly, the Kings didn't really miss Doughty. He did that well. He played like Hall of Famer Drew Doughty. So let's go on with the news. Paul Maurice becomes the fourth coach in NHL history to reach 900 wins. That's a lot of wins.
That is a lot of wins.
I mean, you're figuring that's 50 wins a year. That's 18 years. 18 years of 50 wins. 50 wins is a lot of wins. That's 100 points without the overtime losses and all that stuff. So that means great coach.
Yeah. He's always been a great coach. So trying to see who are the three coaches ahead of him. I had it saved somewhere. But we'll continue. Jonathan Quick gets his 400th career win and is now 15th all-time in wins. And he is the first ever U.S.-born and USA goalie to hit the 400 career win mark.
Congratulations. Not just NHL Hall of Fame, but LA King Hall of Fame, Jonathan Quick.
Yep, he's only one win away for tying Chris Osgood, 3 away from tying Grant Fuhr, and 7 away from Glenn Hall, and currently 18 away from Bobrovsky.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so anonymous NHL player polls.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking we got a visual on that.
No, I didn't make any visuals for this one.
Because you didn't share any of that information because that came from you.
I have it right here. So they ask all the players, and it's completely anonymous on like certain questions just to find out where all the teams are at. This is the first question. What is the first team on your no trade list? You want to guess who's at the top?
Toronto?
Nope. Winnipeg Jets at 48%.
Yeah, well, it's got terrible weather in Winnipeg.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to visit. I don't know about staying there. I got to visit it first. Yeah, Winnipeg's number 1. The Sabres are 2. Sharks 3. And then honorable mentions, you got the Flames, Ducks, Senators, and Rangers. Next one. What coach would you most like to play for? Top 3 was John Cooper, Paul Maurice, and Rob Bridamore. Then you also got Berube, Montgomery, DeBoer, Tortorella, and Laviolette. What coach would you least like to play for?
Cronin?
He's on the list. You got John Tortorella number 1, Bruce
Ooh.
Cassidy number 2, and Greg Cronin and Mike Babcock were tied for 3.
Both Ducks coaches.
Well, 2 former.
Well,
I'm kind of hoping. I'm hoping.
I got that one. Okay.
I'm hoping. And then other honorable mentions, you have Ruff, Waugh, Laviolette, Sullivan, and Turgney. Who has the best facilities for visitors? People said the Detroit Red Wings had the best. Kraken, Edmonton were 2 and 3. And other honorable mentions, the Knights, Utah, Islanders, and Canucks. Who has the worst facilities for visitors? Carolina was by far the worst one at 66%.
Wow.
Yeah. Calgary and Washington were 2 and 3, and the honorable mentions were Boston, Colorado, and the Rangers. Then they also asked them, would you like to see, or do you like the idea of an in-season tournament for the NHL? So it was a yes or no. Which one do you think won?
Yes.
Wrong. No was 55%. Yes was 45%.
I think it'd be cool.
I think that'd be too many games for already a difficult sport.
You make it part of it.
Yeah. And they asked them, do you think the season is too long right now? 58% said no, 42% said yes. And I had, what was the last one? Here's the last one. Do you think Gary Bettman should retire? 55% said yes.
Yes.
and 45% said no. But there was also news that he's already looking to retire soon. They're not saying this after the season or whatever. It's going to happen soon. They said probably within the next 3 years. But I have a feeling that the Ducks, with the whole Greg Cronin situation, that should be a big wake-up call right there. So, and I have a feeling the ones that said like they wouldn't want to play for the Ducks, I feel like that also has to do with the whole Cronin situation as well.
Got it. Yeah.
All right, let's get to the last bit of league news finally.
Okay. Oh, yes. Ryan Hartman, switching from hockey to MMA, gets suspended for 10 games for roughing, pile driving Tim Stützle.
It was more like WWE.
I don't know.
Did you see the play?
I did not.
I mean, it was bad. Just bad. And he was saying, "Oh, I slipped." No, you didn't. Stop. All right, ready to?
I slipped.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. We're gonna go to games, right? Are we gonna go back and forth like we did prior?
I feel like that's best.
Okay, so do you want? I mean, we both have a. We're gonna be starting with games on January 25th. Do you want me to go first, or do you go first?
Let's see. Do we have the same amount? 1, 2, 3, 4,
I did
5,
not
6,
look.
7. I think you have 7. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. So you go first. You go first.
Okay, so we're going to start off on January 25th, and this game did go to overtime. I'm going to share that right now, but let's go through the scoring. First period, and this is the Kings versus the Columbus Blue Jackets. Zach Brzezinski scores his 16th from Del Bell Blues.
What? You got to say it in English.
That was English. His 5th, and are you okay?
Yeah, I got something in my throat.
Kent Johnson. Yeah, Kent Johnson is one of those guys who played at Michigan, and when you watched him play in college, I mean, he still has potential to be something incredible because he used to make the craziest moves. Just throwing that out.
Del Bell Blues?
Del Blues. sounds like a
dying over here. Oh.
But it sounds like a like a blues music place or something.
And
Well,
welcome to
anyways,
the stage, Del Bell
yeah, there
Blues.
you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
So it's 1-0 Blue Jackets in the first period, but not to be outdone. Philip Deneau got his fourth from Kevin Fiala's 12th, like 3 minutes later to tie the game at 1-1. Then we go to the third period, and Dante Fabro scores his fourth from Severson his 14th, and then Riemsdyk his 11th at the 2:51 mark to put Columbus up 2-1. Quentin Byfield gets his 10th from LaFerriere his 14th and Fiala his 13th, and tied the game up at 2-2 at the 18:55 mark with just a minute and 5 left in the period. Quentin does it to put him into overtime and at least got him a point. Then Kirill Marchenko scores his 20th in overtime at the 3:45 mark from Provorov, his 18th. He's on the Kings. They do pay some of his salary, and he scored against him. I think they should fire him.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Seriously. Yes,
Yeah.
pay a guy to play against you and score against you. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, what's going on? What are you guys doing? Danforth also got a sixth, but that was the game winner, with the Blue Jackets winning 3-2. Let's go over some of the stats real quick. Kings outshot them 33-24, 58-42 on faceoffs. Both teams were 0 for 1 on the power play. Hits were 25 for Columbus, 21 for the Kings. I think here's maybe where the difference was. Block shots. Columbus 23, Kings only had 13. Giveaways, the Kings only gave away 6, and the Blue Jackets 9. And takeaways, the Kings had 10, and the Blue Jackets had 5. Let's go to the 3 stars of the game. Probably not a King on there, and I'm right. Fabro was the 3rd star with a goal. Marchenko was a 2nd star with a goal. And the 1st star was Merzlinkins, who had a 1.89 goals against in the game and a 939 save percentage. So on to your first game, Cody.
All right, my first game was also on the 25th. The Ducks hosted the the Nashville Predators. This was the last team the Ducks had to play against before they played all 32 teams this year. The Ducks, surprisingly, and yes, you heard that right, surprisingly won this game 5-2. Pavel Minchikov got the scoring started with assists from Brett Leeson and Jansen Harkins. That was Pavel Minchikov's 4th goal of the year. It was just one that just happened to squeak right by Saros. It was not a little lucky of a goal. And then 10 minutes later, Gustav Nyquist scores to tie it up 1-1. That was his 9th of the year. And then the man, the myth, the legend right now, Mason McTavish gets his 10th of the year. Assist from Killorn and Zegras to take the lead on a tip-in 5 minutes. Or not 5 minutes. 5 seconds before the first period ends to take the lead 2-1. Now we go into the second period, and there was even more scoring in this period than there was in the first. 5 minutes in, Ryan O'Reilly ties it up to make it 2-2, his 14th of the year. Then Jansen Harkins gets his 2nd of the year to make it 3-2 Anaheim with assists from Gudis and Leeson. Just great goal from Harkins. I like the way he plays a lot. It was just a good, as what they call in the Mighty Ducks D3, he picked up the trash in that goal, for that goal. And then Trevor Zegras gets his 5th of the year with assists from Hellison and Dumoulin to make it 4-2 Anaheim. And then sure enough, again, the man, the myth, the legend, the elite 3C, according to Cronin, Mason McTavish gets his 2nd goal of the game on the power play. It's the 11th of the year, assist from Terry and Lacombe. The Ducks win this one 5-2. The Ducks did get outshot in this game 43-35. The Ducks did win the faceoff percentage, and oh my God, we actually scored a power play goal. It's a miracle. But other than that, it was just the Ducks did get outplayed this game. Saros just wasn't very good in this game.
Well, that does happen.
Yeah, no, it does.
I mean, we're going to be going through a bad streak with the Kings through some of these games, and then
I saw that
to end off with a good streak, just so you guys know. So I'll go to my next game, which was
wait, I still got my 3 stars.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, sorry. I just remembered just before you started. Jackson Lacombe was the 3rd star with 1 assist. Trevor Zegers was the number 2 star with a goal and assist for 2 points. And then again, the Elite 3C McTavish was the number 1 star with 2 goals for 2 points. In this game, Mason McTavish wore these special glasses that have a camera and everything like that. And he wore it when he was announced as the 1st star. It was really cool looking. Or cool. I don't know if it was this game or the game before, now that I think about it, because Zegers also wore them the game after. So, all right, now you can go to your next game, sir.
Okay, let's go to God, you even have these what game number they are. That's I'm impressed.
I'm that
game
good.
47 for the Kings on January 27th in Detroit. Well, let's go to the scoring. We started off well. Kevin Fiala getting his 16th from Spence, his 14th assist, and LaFerriere his 15th at the 14:50 mark, and the Kings are up 1-0. And this game started off really great because next, Quentin Byfield scores his 11th unassisted because I think he was the last one to touch the puck for the Kings, but somebody own goaled it for Detroit. So the Kings are up 2-0, and that was at the 17:05 mark.
Huh. I'm looking at like a little visual thing they have on the NHL, and I'm like, how did that? I want to see like the full replay of that goal now.
I haven't seen that. Oh, there we go. Chair's not very comfortable. Mom got me a pillow. Oh, that's so much better. Anyways, with 20 seconds left in the first period, Lucas Raymond gets his 20th from Casper his 9th and Larkin his 25th on a backhanded shot. So after the first period, the Kings are up to 2-1. And this is where the Red Wings took over. Second period, Alex DeBrincat on the power play gets his 21st from Raymond his 34th and Sider his 27th. I mean, you look at these draft picks that Detroit has: Sider, Raymond. I mean, they're having great seasons, and they've been hot. And so that tied the game up at 2-2, and then Elmer Soderblom scores his first, with Fisher getting his 5th and Johansson his 4th. So we had the big scoring line, put the Detroit up, and that was a game-winning goal, by the way, 3-2, at the 16:53 mark. And then so after 2 periods, it's 3-2 Detroit. And then Marco Kasper gets his 8th, with Lucas Raymond getting his 35th assist, to put Detroit up 4-2. And then Kasper scores his 9th on an empty netter from Larkin and Raymond. And that final is 5-2. So let's go to the stats. Kings were outshot 28-25. They won faceoffs 58-42. Kings were 0-for-1 on the power play, and Detroit was 1-for-3. Hits, the Kings out-hit them 29-24. Block shots was 19-15 for the Red Wings. Giveaways 13-12 with the Red Wings. and then takeaways were 4 apiece. The 3 stars of the game, second game in a row with not a king in the bunch. Soderblom was the 3rd star with a goal. Casper was the 2nd star with 2 goals and an assist. And Lucas Raymond was the 1st star with a goal and 3 assists. And on to your next game, Cody.
You do your 3 stars?
I just did it.
Oh, okay.
There was no kings again.
That's unfortunate.
Yes.
So the Ducks go to Seattle. And the Ducks, again, win another game. Oh, and win this one 6-4 over the Seattle Kraken. Troy Terry got the scoring started pretty early in this game, a minute and 23 in. Got a 16th of the year assist from Strome and Vetrano to take the lead 1-0. And then Eli Tovinen, 5 minutes later, gets his 14th of the year to tie it up 1-1. And then Mitchell Stevens gets his first goal of the season to make it 2-1 Seattle. And yes, we're still in the first period, by the way. Cutter Gauthier ties it up at the around the 12-minute mark to get his 8th of the year assist from Robbie Fabry. And we're tied 2-2. Still in the first period, by the way. Next up, Jaden Schwartz gets his 17th of the season to make it 3-2 Seattle. God, that was a lot of scoring in the first period. I thought the game was going to end up like 10-9 or something. We go into the second period. Mason McTavish, again, gets his 12th of the season to tie it up 3-3 a minute into the second period. Then Robbie Fabry, 4 minutes later, gets his 8th of the year, also from McTavish. And then Jackson Lacombe gets his 9th of the year to make it 5-3 Anaheim. All this was before the 8th minute mark, by the way, in the second period. So now the Ducks are leading 5-3 going into the third period. And then if I had to put a bet every time the Ducks play Seattle, I would put I would put $1,000 down that Shane Wright is going to score a goal against the Ducks. It happens almost every time. It's like whenever the Ducks play against Anthony Duclair or Jacob Chikrin, every time they're going to score a point.
Adrian Kempe.
Oh God, yeah. Oh God, we'll get into that later. But luckily the Ducks prevail. The Toronto gets his 14th of the year unassisted on the empty net to make it 6-4 Anaheim. And so we steal one in Seattle. Brandon Montour gets the 3rd star of the game with 2 assists for 2 points. Mason McTavish is the 2nd star with 1 goal, 1 assist for 2 points. And then also Lacombe also had 1 goal, 1 assist for 2 points as the 1st star. Again, the Ducks were outshot this game 30-23. They lost in the faceoffs 60-40. And again, 0 on the power play. And they gave up 1 power play goal. All around, better than they usually do, but at least the Ducks win the season series over Seattle 2-3. So can't be wrong. Can't be too mad about that. And then right after this game, Philip Grubauer was put on waivers. So the Ducks literally got Grubauer waived. Never thought I would ever hear.
He hasn't gone anywhere yet.
No, he's in the AHL right now. So he's playing for Coachella Valley right now.
Ooh.
Unless he recently got called up, but I don't think so.
All right. Wow.
Yep.
So we're going to go on to game 48, which happened on Wednesday, January 29th. And it's the Kings in Florida playing the world champion Florida Panthers. Let's go to the scoring. Sam Bennett gets his 16th from Matthew Tkachuk and Kulikov at the 4:55 mark on a wrist shot to put Florida up 1-0. And it stayed there until the third period. And then I mean, it was a contested game, but I still think when you really, if you look at everything, Florida just totally I think they dominated the Kings. In the third period, Alexander Barkov gets his 12th from Kachuk his 31st and Reinhardt his 25th to put the Panthers up 2-0. And then Kachuk got his 16th from Luostaren and Ekblad.
Luosterainen.
11th. You can't speak regular English, but you can do hockey players. I don't get it.
I don't get it.
Ekblad got his 20th assist on an empty net, and the final was 3-0 for Florida.
I swear, for the off season, I'm just gonna have a list of names for you to pronounce.
Okay, we'll let you try to speak, and you can
just basic English words. Just give me a dictionary. I'll butcher like 90% of the words.
Yeah, well, we'll have fun with that. Everybody can laugh at both of us.
I can't take credit for that. That was actually Adam's idea for you to pronounce the hockey names.
There you go.
I can't take credit for it. That was all Adam.
I gotta. It's not easy. I'm not Canadian. I'm full-blooded American boy.
We're Americans.
Yep, there you go. I got my shotgun ready to go. The Kings were outshot 39-29 by Florida, but again, the Kings 57-43 on the faceoff. They've been winning the faceoffs pretty much every game. Power play, Kings were again 0 for 2. Panthers were 1 for 4. Hits were 23-18 for Florida. Block shots were 21-10. This is where domination came in. Giveaways, Florida had 14, we had 11, and takeaways, we had 2 and we had 1. Go to the 3 stars of the game for the third game in a row. There will not be a King. Bennett was the third star with a goal. Kachuk was the second star with a goal and 2 assists. And Bob Broski was the number 1 star with the shutout and a 1,000% save percentage.
Good old Bob.
Good old Bob.
Yep. My turn?
Your turn.
So the Ducks go from Seattle to Calgary. And this is just what happens when the Ducks play a good goalie this year. The Ducks only get 1 goal. Yep. The Ducks lost this game in Calgary 4-1. God, that Dustin Wolf kid is he's great. I'll admit,
he's California born.
Is he California born too?
I believe he's the one that's California born because I think he shut out the Kings first time they played him.
Yep. Well, at least the Ducks didn't have to wait that long to get the scoring started in this one. Frank Vetrano on his 15th of the year, and the Ducks' first shorthanded goal this year, and the last team to score a shorthanded goal this season. So it only took us a million games to get our first shorthanded goal. But Frank the Tank gets the scoring started at the 11:54 mark, and with the Ducks take the lead into the first period. And then after that, it was all Calgary. Adam Klappa, God, that guy is tall. If that it's the same guy I'm thinking of, or is it another game I'm thinking of? Maybe it was this game. This guy was like 6'8", and he was all over the place. Like, you noticed him when he was on the ice, and he was just dominating. But Adam Klapka gets his first goal of the season 15 seconds into the second period. So the Ducks' lead didn't last long going into the second. And then Blake Coleman got his 12th of the year at the 19:16 mark on a deflected shot to take a 2-1 lead. And then Matt Coronado scores his 12th and 13th goal of the game or of the season to make it 4-1 Calgary. The last one was an empty netter goal. So the Ducks lose this one to Calgary 4-1. And just like the Kings happened, the same thing for the Ducks. There's not a Ducks player in sight for the 3 stars. You had Dustin Wolf as the 3rd star, Klapka as the 2nd star, and Matt Coronado as the number 1 star. The Ducks did outshoot Calgary just by 1 though. 31-30. The face-off percentage was 60-40. Again, the Ducks were 0 on the power play. That's going to be a big thing that's been happening a lot. So yep, the Ducks lose this one in Calgary. So I believe the Ducks were on a 3-game heater until this game. So, and the Ducks were scoring 5 goals a game, and then they face a good goalie and only get 1. So,
yeah.
All right.
Well,
On
the Kings had a 3-game heater, and the Kings have been on a 3-game with frostbite. So, and they go to Tampa Bay to play the Tampa Bay Lightning. And let's go to the scoring. Seems like Florida was not good to the Kings this road trip. So Brandon Hagel gets his 21st from Goncalves.
Hold on, I'm loading it up because you can't.
And Vasilevsky.
Goncalves?
Goncalves and Vasilevsky. Vasilevsky got his first assist. Goalie gets an assist against the Kings. That's how bad they
number 1 star.
1-0. Well, I'm sure Vasilevsky's the number 1 star.
I just love so.
I was already going to guess that. And then Brandon Hagel got his 22nd from Kucherov, his 52nd assist. I think that's more points than any King has, and he has.
That's definitely more points than any Duck.
So it's now 2-0, and this is all. The first period it was 1-0. There was no scoring until the third period again, just like against the Panthers. So now it's 2-0, and then Anthony Cirelli gets his 19th from Hagel, his 32nd. Short-handed empty net. That's pretty bad. Short-handed.
Well, I mean, that just means you guys pulled the goalie.
I know, but still. So it ends up being a 3-0 game. We go to the stats. Obviously, we're going to see it's the Tampa Bay domination because this.
There is one King.
I haven't gone to the stars of the game yet.
Oh,
shocking! Right. For the first time in four games, there's a King in the 3 stars category. Kings were outshot 33-28. They were dominated in the faceoff circle, 55-45. There was no power plays scored. Kings were 0 for 1. Tampa Bay 0 for 2. Hits, Kings 29-18. Block shots 18-9. Giveaways, they only had 9, and Tampa Bay had 15. Takeaways was 4 apiece. Let's go to the 3 stars of the game. David Riddick was the 3rd star. He's the only one. I mean, he had no help. He had a .938 save percentage. Thanks for breaking the streak, Riddick. Hagel was the 2nd star with 2 goals and an assist, and the number 1 star was Andrei Vasilevsky. Had a shutout
and an assist.
And an assist. Didn't even state that in the 3-star part.
Shame on them.
Yeah, I know. So now Kings fans, a 4-game losing streak for the Kings.
Wow. Well, the Ducks moved to Montreal after the Calgary game. And this game was not very pretty early going in right away. The Ducks give up a shorthanded goal to Joel Armia, his 9th of the year, at the 10:35 mark. So now this was a very frustrating game to start with. But we give up a shorthanded goal, and then 4 minutes later we give up a power play goal. So special teams is not doing very well right now. So it's 2-0 going into the first period. And I did have a couple of notes right here. The Ducks get an early power play, but they give up a shorthanded goal, and Montreal keeps possession for 40 seconds during that power play. What a horrible power play. Like, literally, it was just the Canadians were just playing keep away from the Ducks on the Ducks power play. That pretty much sums up our power play this year. So, but luckily, again, the Elite 3C, Mason McTavish gets his 13th of the year with assists from Killorn and Carlson. And now the Ducks are on the board to make it 2-1 Montreal. And then Frank the Tank Petrano gets his 16th of the season, assist from Strome and Zegras. So now we're tied up 2 apiece at the 14-17 mark. Oh, I think we lost my dad, but I'll continue on. In the third period, Alex Killorn gets his 11th of the year at the 11-11 mark. Make a wish. Leo Carlson gets his 9th assist of the year, and the Ducks win this one 3-2. The Ducks did get outshot this game. It was 23-22. The faceoffs, not pretty. 62-38. Again, 0 for on the power play. And remember what I just said. They gave up a shorthanded goal and they give up a power play goal. Everything good?
Yeah, I somehow took myself right out of the studio.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, oh, bye.
It wasn't done on purpose, people.
Yeah,
but help! Please help me. My son's holding me hostage to do this podcast. Please help me, please.
Yeah, I'm holding you hostage to make you talk about the Kings. I'm more holding you hostage if I had to make you talk about the Ducks. So,
but I'm embarrassed. My face is red.
Anyways,
no, Mr. Bill.
This was a very good game, a good comeback win by the Ducks after giving up 2 really bad goals, I wouldn't say bad goals, but a horrible power play and then a horrible penalty kill, and then to come back and win this one 3-2. I mean, the Canadiens should have won this one, but it was a good team win for this one for the Ducks. So the Ducks win this one 3-2. The 3 stars, and it's really rare. Actually, the Ducks were home against Montreal. Sorry, my bad. Lacombe was the 3rd star with no points, but I think he had a great game though. He you could just tell he looked different. Frank Petrano gets a goal and a point, and then Killorn was the number 1 star with a goal and 1 assist. There is other thing I wanted to talk about. In the second period of this game, the refs miss an easy penalty against Montreal. So Harkins gets a minor boarding penalty, and it was a penalty. I'm not going to deny that. But then a player, I can't remember who it was, literally grabs Harkins from behind and slams him down and rips off his helmet, and that player did not get a penalty. It's an automatic penalty if you rip off another player's helmet. Not only did he rip off, he literally choked him and slammed him down. How was that not a penalty or an instigator or something? But it should have been just coincidental minors 4-on-4 game, for the next 2 minutes. But nope, refs are like, nope, he's good. So that was the other thing I wanted to bring up, but that's it for this Montreal game. The Ducks are in the win column again.
My next game is against the Carolina Hurricanes in Carolina, the last game of the road trip. And let's go to the scoring. I mean, Kings fans, if you didn't know what happened, what would you guess? You think it's going to be losing streak go to 5 games, or do we break the losing streak? Well, let's go to the scoring. Holy moly, here's a name from hell.
Jesperi Kotkaniemi.
Kotkaniemi. Okay, Kotkaniemi. Okay. He scored his 11th from Walker, his 9th, and Gottespear, his 23rd.
Gottespear.
Just
call him Ghost. Ghost.
Okay, there you go. 1-0 Carolina. Again, after being down 1-0, Philip Deneau gets his 5th unassisted to tie the game up. And that ends the first period with the Kings and Hurricanes tied 1-1. And we go to the second period, and Somebody who hasn't scored in a long time, Trevor Moore, gets his 7th from Deneau his 20th and Gavrikov his 15th at the 103 mark. So very start of the second period, Kings go up 2-1. Then Kevin Fiala gets his 17th from Byfield his 13th, and who? Drew Doughty, his first. This is his I think his second game. I think he did play against Tampa Bay. Anyways, so it's 3-1 Kings after 2 periods. Then Eric Robinson scores his 12th from Burns his 15th and Slavin his 16th. Slavin. And then it's 3-2. And then at the 11:40 mark, Kevin Fiala gets his 18th from Byfield his 14th to put the Kings up 4-2. And that's how the game finished 4-2. Let's go to the stats. Kings were outshot 28-26. They lost the faceoffs 53-47. The Kings were 0 for 1 on the power play. Carolina was 0 for 3. Hits, Kings 22-15. Block shots, 16 Kings, 10 for the Hurricanes. Giveaways, 16 for the Kings, 13 for the Hurricanes. And takeaways were 3 for the Kings, 7 for the Hurricanes. Let's go to the 3 stars of the game. Robinson was the 3rd star with a goal. Deneau was the 2nd star with a goal and assist. And the 1st star of the game, Kevin Fiala, with 2 goals. So the Kings come back and play against a very good team and finally break their 4-game losing streak and win 4-2 against Carolina in Carolina.
That's hard, too.
It's not an easy place to play. In fact, it's the worst arena to play in for visitors, according to Cody's stats from earlier.
Well, the player polls, but yes. All right. The Ducks' last game that I'll talk about.
I got 2 in a row then, huh?
Do you want to do another one, or do you just do 2? You can do 2 in a row.
Yeah.
Either way, you got to do 2 in a row.
Anyway,
the Ducks play Dallas. I should say host Dallas, and the Ducks win this one 2-1 over Dallas. You heard that? You heard that right. Gibson in his 500th career game, too. So, Cutter Gauthier gets the scoring started at the 17:47 mark in the first period on a nice wrist shot, too. Make it his 9th of the season with assist from Fabry to take the lead 1-0. And then just like in a lot of the Kings games, we don't see any scoring until the 3rd period, where Colin Blackwell ties it up 1 minute and 30 seconds in to tie it up 1-1. And then at the 4:07 mark, nice little play by Killorn and Zegras on this one. Zegras gets his 6th of the year on a tip-in. Alex Killorn just turns around, throws it on net, and Zegras reaches out and turns his stick blade into a ramp. And the puck was staying on the ice the whole time. And Zegras made a little ramp with his blade, and it just zooped up right over Otter and scored. So that was the final 2-1 for the Ducks. The Ducks did outshoot the Stars 28-27, but again, losing in the faceoff percentage. We had 55-45. And again, 0% on the power play. 0 for 3. But at least we didn't give up a penalty or a power play goal, so that's good. And then you want to hear something crazy, Dan?
Sure.
The Ducks won the season series over the Stars.
Dallas is just different.
Well, I mean, they were one of the hottest teams too.
Yeah.
So, but Zellweger is our 3rd star of the game with 1 assist. Trevor Zegras was the number 2 star with 1 goal and 1 point. And then John Gibson in his 500th game gets the win and he is the number 1 star, making 26 saves on 27 shots. And he looked good.
He has looked good this season,
I,
mostly.
is it crazy to say? I think the Ducks have the best tandem in all hockey.
Yeah.
Is that crazy?
It's yeah. Well, stat wise, I think maybe yeah.
I'm about to look up something while you're doing your 2 games. So, but go for it.
Okay, so we go home after finally breaking our 4-game losing streak, and we're playing the Montreal Canadiens. So we'll go to the scoring. Let's go to the first period, and who, Mr. upcoming free agent this offseason, Vladislav Gavrikov, scores at the 139 mark on a slap shot from assist from Quentin Byfield, his 15th, to put the Kings up 1-0. So now and that's how the first period ends, people. And in the second period, Mike Matheson scores from Cole Caulfield, his 23rd, and Lane Hudson at the 351 mark on a snapshot to tie the game. But at the 5:23 mark, Warren Foegele is on a breakaway, and he gets pulled down, and he gets a penalty shot, and he scores to make it 2-1 Kings after 2 periods. So we go to the third period. It's starting to look good. Brant Clark gets his 4th from Kopitar, his 32nd, and Alex Turcotte his 13th at the 15-second mark to put the Kings up 3-1. Then Alexandre Carrier, unassisted, scores at the 337 mark on a wrist shot to bring the Canadiens closer at 3-2. Then at the 10:46 mark, Kevin Fiala gets his 19th from Laferriere, his 16th, and Byfield his 16th to put the Kings up 4-2. This game was just going back and forth. Then Logan Malloy?
Oh, crap. I forgot how to say his name. Just keep going.
Gets his 2nd from Newhook, his 7th, and Kirby Dock his 12th at the 13:37 mark to make it 4-3. Then who else but Kevin Fiala gets his 20th from Gavrikov, his 16th, and Quentin Byfield his 17th. Put the Kings up 5-3 at the 14:12 mark on a slap shot. Have anybody noticed that these goals are typically being assisted by Quentin Byfield for Kevin Fiala? And he is hot right now. Hot. Then, not to be outdone, Trevor Moore gets his 8th empty netter from Warren Foegele, his 13th at the 17:30 mark. And the final in this game, 6-3 Kings. Let's go to the stats real quick.
Where were those goals during when you guys were in Florida?
Well, Canadians are not the Panthers or the Lightning.
True.
You know. So the Kings outshot the Canadians 37-21, but they lost the faceoff 57-43.
Wow.
Both teams were 0 on the power play. The Kings 0-2, Canadians 0-3. Hits were 22-11 in favor of Canadians. Block shots 17-12 in front of the Canadians. Giveaways, Canadians 11, Kings 12, and takeaways 5 for the Canadians and 1 for the Kings. Let's go to the 3 stars of the game. I bet you can guess who 2 of those stars are. The third star was Gavrikov with a goal and assist. Second star was Quentin Byfield with 3 assists. And the first star of the game, again, Kevin Fiala with 2 goals and no assists. And now the Kings are on a 2-game winning streak after being on a 4-game losing streak before that. And now we'll go to the last game of this podcast. And
we're only an hour and 15 in, so
it's not bad considering all the games we've had to do.
no, I know.
And who are they playing? The hated Dallas Stars, who basically dominate the Kings. So let's go to the scoring. Warren Fogle gets his 14th in the first period from Deneau at the 11-second mark on a wrist shot. You talk about going early and getting a goal. There it was. Not to be outdone, Matt Duchene gets his 19th from Smith his 4th and Dumba his 3rd at the 1958 mark. 2 seconds left in the period, and after one, it's 1-1 between the Stars and the Kings. Second period, at the 8-16 mark, Kevin Fiala gets his 21st.
Did you see that goal, by the way?
I have not.
Oh,
I was listening to it. It was like a rocket.
It wasn't. It's just the play. He dangled that puck, and just.
I'm gonna have to go look. I was in the car on the way.
Well, if I was able to play it on the pod right now, I would pull it up right now just to show you. I don't want to get in trouble, but oof, it was nasty. Oof.
Well, yeah, Fiala's been hot. So, and if I didn't say it, Deneau got his 22nd assist to put the Kings up 2-1. Then Thomas Harley gets his 8th from Cody Ceci, his 12th, and Matt Duchene his 32nd to tie the game 2-2. And then Alex Laferriere gets his 14th from Byfield his 18th and Fiala his 14th. To put the Kings up 3-2 after 2 periods. So the Stars after 2 periods were hanging on. Well, they got a little pissed here in the 3rd period. Maverick Bork scores his 7th from Ben his 21st and Dadenoff his 15th at the 6:53 mark on a wrist shot to tie the score 3-3. Not less than 3 minutes later, Duchene gets his 20th from Granlund his 3rd and Lindell his 14th to put Dallas up 4-3 at the 9:41 mark on a snapshot. Then the captain, Anze Kopitar, gets his 13th from Kempe his 21st and Moore his 15th to tie the score 4-4 on a deflection at the 11:40 mark. So we go to overtime. And I want to tell you, I was on my way home at an overtime. And Kevin Fiala scores a goal from Quentin Byfield. And I guess Doughty was in the blue, but from what they were talking about, he didn't ever touch the goalkeeper, but they called goalie interference and it was denied. So we ended up tied still after the overtime. And then Kempe is the first one on the shootout and he scores. And then and I do believe it was Riddick made a save on Robertson. Then Fiala comes in and scores on the shootout. And then Riddick makes a save against Duchene, and the Kings win the game in a shootout 5-4. So let's go to the stats real quick. Kings outshot the Stars 37-30. They lost the faceoffs again, 56-44. Again, no power play points. Each of them were 0 for 1. Hits were 19-13 Stars. Block shots were 22-20. So this game was evenly paid, especially after 2 periods, because the first period the Kings kind of were dominating them, and they got lucky to get that goal, I thought. Giveaways were 19 for the Stars and 11 for the Kings, and takeaways were 7 for the Kings, 4 for the Stars. Let's go to the 3 stars of the game. Your 3rd star was Philip Deneau with 2 assists. Your 2nd star was Matt Duchene, well-deserved with 2 goals and an assist. And your number 1 star, Kevin Fiala, with a goal and an assist.
Technically 2 goals.
3. If they would have counted, well, they wouldn't have ever gone to a
I'll have
shootout.
to go back and look at that.
I'm gonna
But
have to go back and look at that too. I,
he
it was
he
late, and I was tired last
yeah,
night.
that goal was nasty in a good way. So when I asked you earlier, do the Ducks have the best goalie tandem in the league?
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think are in the? Can you name me the top 5 goalies that are in the goals save above expected? So that means they're saving more goals than they're supposed to. Number 1 and 2 should probably be obvious ones.
Number one and number. Let me think about this. Why am I drawing a blank on who should be number one? Because he's had a really great season. Oh, Hellebuck.
Actually, him and this other player, are tied for first with the same.
Really?
We mentioned him earlier in the notes. He just got a big extension.
Oh, Logan Thompson.
Logan Thompson. They both have saved 27.8 goals above expected. Number 3, Joey Decord with 20.4. Number 4, Lukas Dostal with 16.5. And number 5, John Gibson with 14.6.
Wow. Awesome.
Yeah. All right. Glad we finally got those games out of the way.
Well, we'll try not to have a huge break again until the off season. We'll probably have a break or two. But during the rest of the season, I know I'm going to Waco, Texas to see my daughter and her family in March, but I'm taking my laptop, I'm taking my microphone, and we're going to do a podcast that we're actually leaving that Saturday evening to come home.
What day are you guys leaving again? Oh, it was like March.
We're leaving March 10th at 7 o'clock in the morning, and we'll be back like 8:40. I think the 15th.
Okay. All right.
16th.
Player of the weeks.
Okay.
You want to do yours or mine first?
I can do mine. It's obvious. It's Kevin Fiala. Somebody who really needed to step up is starting to step up, and he's been looking like an MVP, playing that well.
Well, he's finally living up to the
hype.
His contract.
Yeah, there you go.
And giving up a first-round pick and Brock Faber just to get him.
Yeah. Faber, they're like you guys are now. We had more than enough defensemen.
True. All right.
And they had Doughty, they had and they had Clark in the system.
All right. My player of the week. I could have gone with Mason McTavish again because, he's been hot. But I wanted to go with someone a little different and someone who he's been noticeable since he's been back at the lineup. It's Trevor Zegras, the guy that's on the 24-hour trade block, apparently, according to everyone except for Elliot Friedman. So Trevor Zegras is easily my player of the week.
Awesome.
Yep.
And say like a backup. So you talked about McTavish.
Yeah.
Quentin Byfield. Kevin Fiala's been scoring a lot of goals on passes from Quentin Byfield.
Oh, so. I looked up that own goal that Byfield got. I don't even think he even touched the puck. I think they just automatically give it to the center because he lost the face-off. Sider went to go behind the net and kind of lost the puck.
I now that you mentioned, I did see that.
Yeah,
I did see that on the NHL Network because I like to watch that in the morning sometimes.
Yeah. All right, we only got one game to predict.
Yep.
And it's a big game.
Yep.
Tonight.
Yep. It's Royal versus Quacked.
It's Royal versus Quacked. What do you got?
I got Kings 5, Ducks 2.
I'm going to go with my opposite what I've been doing. The Kings have probably one of the best home records in the whole league. you know.
Yes.
And I think they said on one of the podcasts I listened to, I think the Kings are playing like their 20 of their last 30 games at home.
Yeah.
And they're already a good home team, so do I want to say it?
It's,
I'm
I
gonna
don't know.
go.
I
I'm gonna go 3-1 Kings. Oh, I almost threw up just saying it. Oh,
I felt like I just had a big old juicy steak.
my heart. My left arm hurts. I think I'm having a stroke, Dad. Oh, oh no. I got like that.
I'm
That
looking
bad
for
taste in my
I'm
mouth.
looking for somebody to be on the quacked part of my podcast.
Can't believe I said it. It hurts.
So I see we have questions.
Yes. So the first question: with the salary cap expected to spike in the coming seasons, what are the moves both teams or wait, what are the moves both teams are or should make in your opinions?
Okay.
You want me to go first or
Sure. Go first.
it's an easy one. We need someone to put the puck in the back of the net. We need someone, I guess, not like a superstar. A superstar would be great, like a Rantanen, but Marner, someone like that. That would be great. But we need scoring, so we don't need any more defense. Also, Dave Pagnotta or Frank Saravelli or whoever is reporting this that the Ducks need a defenseman. No, we don't. We're good on defense. Trust me. And we're good in the goalie department too. So yes, we need scoring. So I would like to see us getting a scoring winger, a top six winger, with and spend some money because we're definitely going to be. And lock up Dostal because he's going to be an
He's
RFA after this year. His contract's up after the season.
he's the future.
God, yeah.
I mean, no doubt about that. So,
Yeah.
so for the Kings, I would say if they could lock up Gavrikov would be one. With the extra money, we could give him the money he deserves.
Yeah.
The other thing we could do is get like what Cody's. We don't score enough. We play good enough defense. We don't score enough. We were shut out like what 2 or 3 times in the last 10 games. We need a pure scorer that could play possibly even with Kopitar and Kempe. A pure scorer.
Yep.
So,
all right. Here's your Kings question. With the Kings on such a dominant, with the Kings as a dominant team on home ice, what can they try to do outside of the obvious to help bring some of the home juice to the road rink? So, like, help. What can you do better on your away games?
that is the $1 billion question. That would be a $1 billion question. I think I would take the team, get the best person who what do? They let you go to sleep and give you suggestions and tell them that they're playing at home.
You are playing at the Staples Center. You will score tonight, or you will make all the saves tonight. You know, like one of those things. Like
these are not your droids.
these are not the droids you are looking for.
Yes.
You do not need to see my identification card. You know what movie that's from? Oh God, I know you've seen it.
The second part?
Yeah, the second one. You do not need to see my identification card.
It's drawing a blank.
Sorcerer's Apprentice. Yeah.
Yeah. Now that you mention it,
Yeah.
these
All
are
right, and
not
then
the droids
here's
you're
the
looking
Ducks
for.
one Ducks question we got. With the amount of goals scored on your defense and the lack of goals scored on offense, what should the Ducks' priority be? Tighten up the defense or get players who can score the puck? Oh, the latter. The players that can score the puck. And keep we need players that can score and also keep possession and stop playing these ring around the rosy passes on the power play and in the offensive zone. I see more passes along the boards than two other players directly. When they actually do make good passes, we score, but it does not happen often. And the
Well,
power play needs to change.
I have a different answer for your question.
Hmm.
They need a defensive-minded coach.
We have a defensive minded coach, and look where that's getting us.
It's not doing you any good. He's not doing the job.
No. No
No.
kidding. I would have never guessed.
Well, I mean, how many times are you on a power play and it's not the guys you expect?
It's not.
No, I
It's
mean,
not.
some of it
Okay.
it's a coaching problem to
It's
some extent because okay, the Kings have a system and it works on defense. I mean, it does
what's that
fail.
like? What's that like? Having a good power play system. Can you tell me what that's like,
Power
please?
play? I mean, penalty kill?
Are you
We
talking
don't
about penalty kill or power play?
power play we suck at right now.
Oh.
I knew we need to fire Brown and let Hiller do both jobs. That's what the Kings need. They
I can't believe you guys hired Newell Brown. Oh, that was the joke of the offseason.
yeah, I wasn't thrilled with the pick. I mean, because all you did was
Oh.
talk bad about him on the podcast before that season, last season.
But
So,
honestly, like Rich Clune's not even doing that much better than Newell Brown. It's bad. It's really bad. I gotta find where the Ducks are on the power play because it's horrendous.
well, and another question: what the Kings could do? They need some right shot guys who can score. I mean, LaFerriere could be it, but they need another one. I think everybody's left-handed. Deneau's left-handed. Kopitar's left-handed. Kempe's left-handed. Byfield's left-handed. Fiala's left-handed. Moore's left-handed. Fogel might. I'm not sure what Fogel is. He might be right-handed. But they're left-handed dominant on the forwards, and they need a good scoring right-handed guy who could be on the power play. Like Arvidsson when he was in his prime. Although he's not in his prime anymore. He hasn't been doing that much for Edmonton. I think the Fogel Arvidsson switch has been better for us than it's been for them.
I would say so for sure.
So
yeah, the Ducks have the second worst goals for per 60 on 5.4 or 5-on-4 situations. Like when the Ducks are on the power play, they have the second worst goals for per 60. The Kings are the third worst. So
yes,
but still, we don't need to tighten up our defense. I think our defense is fine. It's just we need to.
you need to
You
control
need to
puck
spend
possession. Puck possession is important to you.
puck possession and put the puck in the nets for us.
And just a repeat of when you were 14 years old. I always say it was 50-50 balls. It's 50-50 pucks. You win that puck, you win games. And I think that's where the Ducks really are bad.
Mm-hmm.
The Kings are better at it than the Ducks are. But when they're not playing well, they're not winning the pucks.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and that's it. Here's a quote. It takes heart. What movie does that come from? It takes heart.
I don't know. Do I know the movie?
You do, because there's a quote from that I said, and you said it wasn't that movie. It was another movie that made it, but they both made the same statement.
Is this the whole replacements thing?
It was Gene Hackman at halftime goes, "What's it going to take for you guys to get back in the game?
Oh,
Heart. It takes
nailed
heart."
it. If you guys haven't watched The Replacements, it is such a great movie. And if you really, and I wish I could see, like, have it on video, my dad's face when I said, "Oh, John Favreau was the linebacker guy," and
The
it
crazy
just
land.
the crazy
I
linebacker.
did not even realize that was the same guy
Oh
that's
god.
Happy in Iron Man,
Oh
and
god.
what key
The
guy for all of Marvel as
and
far as
star
that goes.
and the Mandalorian. He was
Yes,
one of the main guys for the Mandalorian.
true.
So
He plays a crazy cop linebacker, the one that Keanu Reeves had to tackle because they needed more time.
did
And
I
he
get you
kept
the ball? Yeah, I got you the ball. Oh god, that is such I love that movie. That is such a
if
great. That's easily a rewatchable movie.
rewatchable movie. Major League's a rewatchable movie.
You know what we got to do during the off season? Just having fun. You and I both come up with our top 10 sports movies of all time.
Sure, I like that idea.
Just have a little fun with it. Something different.
Yeah, and we could have our fans tell us what they think too. That would be awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they had on our network. I was watching one of our shows, and they were saying the top base or the top sports video games, and they brought up one of my favorite games. I think I played when I was younger was MVP Baseball 05. Oh man, that game was one of the best baseball games. And then they even brought up Madden 06, I believe. And Madden 06 had the best soundtrack. And I even remembered one of the songs. So like, oh, what was that Fallout Boy song? Because Fallout Boy is one of my favorite bands. And they're like, oh, and I knew exactly which song because me and Brennan used to play that game nonstop with that song playing nonstop. So that's like core memories for me right there. So, honestly, we did pretty well for only getting to an hour and 37 or 38 minutes.
Yeah, I thought it was going to go closer to 2 hours with all the games, but we went through them
Yeah.
quickly, and I'm sure hopefully our fans have been watching the games and don't really need all of what we had to say, but
Yeah.
sometimes it's nice to hear because you miss stuff,
Yep.
So.
And then in about a little less than 4 hours, we're gonna have a big game to watch, and it's gonna be our last game before the Four Nations.
Yeah, so next week we'll be talking about Four Nations, probably the game tonight.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if the Kings win, we both win, and if Kings lose, we both lose.
So at
way
least
way to make it interesting, son.
I'm just thinking like the Kings are home. They're a good home team. The Ducks don't play well against the Kings, especially like a good defense like that. I'm like, I'm just gonna I gotta do it finally. Sorry, I almost puked again. Ugh. It hurts to say. But quick question. Who's your
I'm wearing one of our Stanley Cup champion t-shirts today. Woohoo!
I gotta find one of those for the Ducks.
Yeah. See that, fans? Woo!
I got something better. I got the DVD collection. Oh, it doesn't show up, of course. Of the Ducks, the California's first Stanley Cup run. I can't. Why isn't it showing? Let me see if I can. See settings. There we go.
Yeah. Oh, you had to take off your background.
Yeah. I got all of that. Yeah. And then
the one and only.
For now. And then probably one of my favorite Christmas gifts I got this year was this. Yep.
Timu.
Me with my best friend. Right there. I just want him to hug me and tell me everything's okay. That's all I want. I don't want to drink. Just hug me, Timu. Just hug me. That's all I want. That's all I would like.
I guess we're gonna have to go back to his restaurant, and hopefully he'll be there this time.
I know he's in Anaheim right now because he was at the Ducks and Tucks thing they had last night or the night before. So I'd love to go there.
And when God made Timu, he broke the mold because there's never going to be someone just like him.
Yeah, no kidding. Let's put my background back on. But I think that's it. All we got now, right?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Well, everyone, please follow us on YouTube and Twitch so you don't miss any live streams. We will be on again next week on Saturday, right?
Yeah, a little earlier.
Yeah. So instead of morning brunch, it's going to be more like a morning breakfast with Royally Quacked.
Yes.
So
somewhere, say 8:39.
Yeah. So
Pacific
early.
time.
Yeah, PST. That's good. Yep. Yeah. Good. Yep.
It's my birthday, and we have things. Wife has things planned, so but we're gonna get the podcast in, even though it's my birthday that day. You know, it's funny is you had your birthday, and we had a podcast on that day, and now it's my birthday, and we're having a podcast. Whoa!
Yeah, I thought
that's not going to happen again for 7 years, or maybe 6.
I really hope we're still doing the podcast at that time.
Yeah, me too. Means I'm still here.
And we got more. We'll have more fans. God, I hope.
Yes.
You know. So,
yeah, like and subscribe. Let your friends know. Your family know. Your neighbor who you never talk to know.
Yep.
Make sure you say something about Royally Quacked at the grocery store when you're buying yogurt.
I gotta get shirts and hats. That's my next big thing I gotta do.
That'd be cool.
But if you guys know anyone that can do that, let us know. Also, as I said, give us a like, subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Twitch. That way you never miss a live stream again. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Threads, TikTok. Yes, TikTok is still alive. Unless you guys deleted it like one of my friends did, and now she can't even go on TikTok anymore.
You can't reload?
Nope.
So you have to have it already loaded?
Yep. If you didn't delete it off your phone, if I didn't delete it, so I still have TikTok, but if you like uninstalled the app on your phone and then when TikTok was like, oh yeah, we're back, you can't download it again. And for right now, I don't know what that situation's like, but but follow us on Twitter or X, as you call it. We're at Royally Quacked, Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky. So if you guys can see at the very top of our little wallpaper right here, you can see where you can follow us on all the major socials and everything. We are proud to be with the Elite Sports and Entertainment Network. They do have an afternoon show now, so I believe it's at 11 a.m. our time, Pacific Standard Time, and I think 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They have a show every day, Monday through Friday, and called the Afternoon Show. One of these days when I'm either not working or I'm off early from work, I'm gonna try and hop on. So that way, try to do it. But it's kind of hard to do it when I'm driving a propane truck, and I don't want to be doing that and driving. That's the last thing I want.
That's true, son. That's true.
So, guys, they got a bunch of great shows on there. They got basketball, they got baseball, they got football. Guys, they even got wrestling. Guys, go follow the ESEN, the Elite Sports and Entertainment Network on Facebook. They're everywhere. But mostly go follow on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. That way you never miss anything from this network. This great network. I love it. The guys are great. I was having fun with them last night. They were making fun of me being an Angels fan. So, I mean.
Well, that's easy to do today.
Yeah, one of the guys like, hey, come to the Evil Empire. I'm like, what's the Evil Empire? And he's like, the Bronx Bombers. I'm like, I'm good. No. I'm like, I'll stay here and suffer with my with Rendon being on the IL every game. So, but ready to get out of here?
I am.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week. And just remember, let's go Ducks.
And go Kings go.
See you guys next week.
Yes.